All right, here we are, another episode of Forged Father FM. We got another success story and got a pretty awesome guest on who has just finished up his 6-month journey, his initial 6-month journey. Now we're going to continue to push things forward and see what we can accomplish next. But I got my man Dustin on. I'm excited to have you on, Dustin. How we doing, brother?
Doing good. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Heck yeah, man. So, a little shocking. Chatting last week, well, the end of last week, catching up on our 6-month success check-in, and 41 pounds, or was it 43 pounds? I can't remember.
Somewhere between 41, 42 pounds.
Yeah. So down 41, 42 pounds, 6 months. Hasn't been a perfect journey, has it?
No, it has not. It's definitely had some roadblocks along the way.
Yeah, and it is what it is, man. But I got to tell you, before we start digging in, I got a massive amount of respect for you, sticking with it, pushing through the resistance. It's something that I talk about often, in the brotherhood, but then outside of it too. Most guys, they just, when they face tough times, stuff that is somewhat out of their control, they just give up. They quit, and they just kind of settle on that. Man, you've pushed through that, and here we are. And so I'm excited to kind of dig in and let you share your story, man. So.
With anything, if I make a commitment to something, I see that commitment all the way through.
Yep. That's how you got to do it, man. So, Dustin, why don't you kind of take things away and just do a quick introduction of yourself, man?
All right. Dustin Moe here from Boise, Idaho. Like many of you in the brotherhood, I was a former athlete, collegiate wrestler, wrestled pretty much my whole life. Wrestled for Team USA back in the day. So as we got older and as the sport stopped, I didn't have sons to continue in the sport. I had daughters, which is a blessing also.
Oh, yeah.
But I let myself go. I let work get in the way of staying fit and chose to go down a path of eating unhealthy, consuming way too much alcohol. And there finally came a turning point when I realized something had to change. I was perusing the Facebook one day and saw the ad for the Forged Father, and I thought it was intriguing. So I took a look at it, read it, and liked what I saw, and signed up for the program, had a conversation, initial phone call with Travis, roughly about an hour long, I think, to go over, just like we all did with Travis and the other coaches to see what our goals were and what we wanted to do. And I was afforded the opportunity to join, and I tried to take full advantage of it.
Buddy, yep. That you have done, man. So one thing I did not know, I knew you were a collegiate wrestler. I did not know that you were Team USA wrestling.
Yeah, when I was 18 years old, I was on the Tour de Monde team, and we went to Hungary, Budapest, Hungary, for 3 weeks and trained and wrestled against the Hungarian national team.
How was that? What was that experience like, man?
It was a cultural experience. It was eye-opener. Kind of a funny story. Before that, when I got back from that trip, I couldn't drink cold milk ever again.
Really? Why is that?
Because in Hungary, they boil all their milk. They don't have a pasteurization system. So they might now, but back in 1998, I'll date myself, 98, they didn't. So what is that, 98? 23 years ago, I haven't had it. In 23 years, I haven't had a glass of cold milk.
Man,
I think
I might have you beat on that. I don't think I've had a cold glass of milk for, let's see, I'm 38, so probably 35 years maybe. Like I've never been a big milk drinker, man. So that's interesting. So
it was fun. Yeah. It was challenging. It was fun. It was a great opportunity.
Yeah, and I know, being a wrestler myself, not at that level, not even close to that level, but I'd say my favorite sport was always wrestling because it's taught so many different lessons. And I'm assuming, when you first mentioned, whenever I commit to something, I don't give up, I don't quit, you push through. That's like a wrestler's mentality, man.
Absolutely.
And to get to that level, no doubt.
I'm a wrestling coach at one of our local high schools here, and I try to emphasize that to the kids.
Yep. So wrestled all through college. Where did you wrestle at in college?
Boise State University.
Boise State. Awesome, man. So you had that little period, and I think we all go through it. Like, you're at a high level competing, done with sports, and now you're a police officer, right?
Yep.
Full-time police officer, obviously getting into the profession, and that's when things started to fall apart a little bit, or I guess like your fitness side
Oh,
kind of dissipated a little bit, huh?
well, that diminished. So I've only been an officer for about 11 years. Prior to that, I had a whole career in construction
Okay.
before that. So the construction profession got me out of the training regimen.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm in shape.
Construction is it's brutal, man. I grew up doing construction with my dad, so pouring concrete, putting up steel buildings.
Me too.
So it's definitely
Concrete.
not for the faint of heart, man. And just doing construction alone will keep you in relatively good shape if you're not staying after work and having beers and all
That's
that
the
stuff
problem right
afterwards.
there. Staying after work for many years.
Yep, yep. So construction, went on to be a police officer, still a police officer now. So talk about like what was going on right before you decided to make the commitment to the Forged Father. Like what were you dealing with at that point in time? What were the struggles? What were we facing, man?
It was just like I felt like crap all the time. I wasn't sleeping very well. I was eating unhealthily. My energy level was in the toilet, and I'd look in the mirror, put my uniform on. We wear the vest, and that made me look even bigger than I was, and realize, I've got roughly 14 more years until I can retire, and I didn't want to be another statistic when I retired because unfortunately many officers, when they retire, within the first 5 years, pass away. And that's because of mental health issues, physical health issues. Um, so I realized, and I just turned 40, so I guess it's my
Mhm.
midlife crisis.
Yep, yep.
Realizing that I need to do something because I want to be around for a long time after retirement. I want to enjoy my kid, my daughters, and presumably one day we'll be a grandfather, hopefully not too
Mhm.
soon.
Yep.
But I want to be around. I want to be present in my family and friends' lives. So it was time to make a change.
Absolutely. So you're a fellow girl dad. How many daughters do you have?
Two,
You got two.
two daughters. I have
Yep. And they are definitely a
my
handful.
oldest is 19, soon to be 20, and my youngest just turned 12 last week. Actually,
So when does it really start to get hard? That's what I'm wondering. Like, they're already difficult. So I got 6, 4, 2, and then obviously another another one on the way. So when am I to expect things to get really difficult, man? Like, what age?
oh man, every kid's different, but um, your oldest is 6. Stand by in a few years.
Yep. Yep.
If they're not in the no phase yet, they will be.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, oh yeah. I already get
Or if
attitude.
it's not the deal.
Yeah, I already get I get quite a good amount of attitude already. And I'm just like, man, they get a little bit older, a little bit sassier, all the more reason to just keep things together. So, and that kind of, you know, going into, okay, said it was time to make a change. So you took that step forward. And yeah, like you said, we had that initial conversation and I really lay things out and I make it clear, hey man, it's not going to be a walk in the park. It's not going to be a quick fix or anything like that. Like, we're going to have to put in some work and, change some things. And you committed to doing that. So talk about, how things did start to change. Like, what were some of the things that you started to switch up once you got into the program?
So when I made the commitment to join, I made a commitment to stop drinking. I realized that I wasn't going to be successful in my goals of losing weight and getting in better physical shape if I continued to consume alcohol. So I cut it out completely. I have here, once I started in the program and was comfortable, and in the last month or so, I've had a couple here and there, but before that, it was like in excess. And so I
Mhm.
realized that was a major part of my commitment was to take that out of the equation. And in doing so, that helped me give me more energy. And on top of that, getting to understand that the food is fuel, not the enemy. So making sure that I was fueling my body with the proper food and cutting out all the crap that I was eating was a turning point as well. It wasn't just the
Absolutely.
workouts; it was just like a switch in mentality.
Hmm. Yeah. And I feel like it's from, other guys that are in the program as well that have given up, drinking or given up other bad habits, chewing, smoking, whatever.
I
It's like
did
when you
that.
make that commitment, you chew,
I did.
give that up. You did? Gave that up too?
After 25 years.
Wow. And
Yeah.
that's not an easy habit to give up. Like I know, like I got buddies that I went to college with that still chew,
Yeah.
So, but it's like when you put your time and effort into developing your body, building your body back up, you're working out consistently. It's like, all right, gives you a little bit more leverage and I guess pressure to give up that crap, right? Because you start to feel the difference, and then you give it up, and then you feel the difference even more, So, but
Absolutely.
it's definitely not easy, right? So, but we got
Yeah.
back into training, obviously, gave up drinking, and just started doing the work. So, how was the journey overall? Like, talk about like the big successes that you had. I mean, I know we've lost good amount of weight. Our energy's up. We're definitely feeling better there. But for you, I guess what were some of the big victories?
Um, Mainly like for me, it was like sticking to the plan. Um, in the beginning, everybody says motivation. They don't have they have a lack of motivation to get started. For me, when I committed to this, that re-energized my motivation, and I wasn't going to let myself down because once I start something, I want to finish it. So yeah, it's only a 6-month journey, but now, in my mind, right now, after the 6 months, the real work begins. But throughout the process, it's for me, it's the structure of it all, taking the guesswork out of it. With your program, the workouts have been fantastic. I don't have to think about it. I open the app up. I know what I'm supposed to do that day, and all I have to do is focus on getting the work done. I don't have to come up with the routine each and every day when I go to the gym. I just know what to do when I get there and prepare myself to get the work done. In the beginning, yeah, it was hard. I mean, I was 40 pounds heavier. Hell, I mean, that's a hard thing to start. Day one, is always the challenge is getting in there on day one. And then once you get done with day one, getting back in there on day two. Yeah, we started slow and progressively built up from there to where I am now. There are some, weights that I want to be able to move easier. I battled with some back pain and some other injuries throughout the process, but was able to lighten up the load and continue to get the work done so I wasn't falling behind. But all in all, the process, I enjoyed the last 6 months getting in the gym, back in the gym, and even now, my trying to reconnect with friends that I haven't seen for a while. A friend of mine came over and asked, it was like, "You look skinnier. What have you done?" So that is, and she's not the only one, and there's other people that have made comment too. So, the hard work is definitely paying off.
Heck yeah, man. Hell yeah. That's like you mentioned, it's certainly, one of the hardest steps is that first step, but I think after you've gotten going and you've made some progress, we get knocked off the path here and there. Oftentimes, like that's the hardest step forward is when we get knocked off the path because we got this motivation and we're making, good gains forward, the momentum's going, and then boom, we get, hit with something, whatever, knocked off the path. That's oftentimes where guys kind of, guess this doesn't work, give up or whatever. But you were able to continue to push through, the tough times, right? Like we were able to generate a lot of progress, and then we had some sticking points. But yeah, man, you pushed through it. So, what were some of the things that really got you through those sticking points?
Just knowing that I couldn't give up on myself. I mean, I knew that it was hard, but it'd be even harder on myself if I quit, if I gave up.
Mm,
So, knowing that I committed to this, I committed a commitment to you in the very first day of our conversation. You don't just let anybody into the program. It's say one thing and do another is not my mentality. So I just knew that I would be mad at myself if I didn't push through and get back in there. So, and then I had some other friends and family that were supportive. My brother is training to do a bodybuilding show, so he kind of helped motivate me to do some things too. And I just for me it was mainly just knowing that I couldn't quit on myself because
mhm.
I'd done it too many times before.
Yeah, that's huge. And I know when we had a conversation it wasn't too long ago when we hit a sticking point. You're going through a tough time. And I think that switch flipped over for you. Like anybody, there's gonna be a downtime. You're dealing with stuff, you're dealing with negativity and all this stuff, and you might stop for a little bit. And it's just like you got to refine yourself, you got to rediscover yourself, and almost rediscover your purpose, right? And I'll never forget, like every single guy in the program, like he has his ups and downs, and I always remember, specific times where I saw the switch go off for you, and something that you said was just like, you know what? Now I got to do this for me. Like it's me time. I got to build myself up to be better because I know that's only going to put me in a better position down the road. Right. So I think when guys take a step back, allow things to soak in for a little bit. I mean, it's something that we've talked about in the program multiple times, the problem solving matrix, so to speak. A lot of guys, they act immediately out of emotion. And so they're going to quit right away. The emotion blinds us, right? Versus you kind of sit in it for a little bit, gain a different perspective on what the hell is going on, and then act in accordance to your commitments, right? Not your feelings, but your commitments. And things are going to shift, and your mindset will tweak and change as we go through it. And it's just like, boom, the focus went back on you, and building yourself up, putting yourself in a better position down the road is basically the best thing that we can do here. So, and here we are, man. So what's the vision set on moving forward? So 6 months through, now we got a year journey in front of us. Where do we want to be at in a year, man?
Oh, that's hard to tell. I mean, I want to continue on the weight loss journey. I think I know I have some more to go. So toning up and looking good in the bathing suit, as the gals would say. You get that summer bod. I don't know. Just continuing on where I'm at, getting stronger, both physically and mentally. Again, it's me time. So I'm working on me. Going to work on continuing to rebuild and reconnect on some of my relationships that I've kind of let go by the wayside over the last little while. And continue to just become a better version of myself. And again, with the program, the way it's laid out, it takes all the guesswork out of it. I guess if there's ever a time to be lazy in that regard, that's my laziness right there. So I don't have to come up with the workouts. I get to just open the app and go. But knowing that that's there for me, all I have to do is go and put in the work and just get it done. So continue on the path I'm on now, continue to lose weight, continue to get stronger, and see where we can go. I mean, who knows? Maybe get back and competing again.
I was just gonna say we need to find a masters competition, man.
There
Masters wrestling competition. What's
there is. They have them. It's just a matter of when they're gonna open it back up due to COVID. So
yep.
Maybe later.
Yeah, I've thought about doing it again. As well as I do, man. Wrestling shape is a whole different type of shape, dude.
Oh, it is.
You could be. Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, you're still in it. So, is your guys' wrestling season going on right now?
It is. We have our district tournament this weekend.
Yeah, they're running it a little bit different this year. Usually they have, a big state tournament, all 4 classes. So we got like class A, B, C, and D. But this year they're splitting it up, and they're only so A and D are on day. Well, actually, I think they might start tomorrow. So like Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday is the other half. So they're like splitting everybody up.
One day state tournament.
1 day state tournament. Crazy.
Yeah.
Nuts. Well, hopefully by next year, things are back to how they were. I don't like to say normal. Everybody's like the new normal.
It's not normal. Back
to regular living, man. So, but I'm certainly excited, Dustin. Again, big respect to you, brother, and I'm looking forward to what lies ahead. We've certainly laid out a solid foundation. Now we're just going to build on that foundation, man, and kick ass. So
sounds good.
Appreciate you coming on, brother.
Thanks.
Awesome, man. Cool, bro. I will see you on the inside.
Yep.
And let's keep putting in that work, buddy.
All right, we'll do. Have a good night.
All righty, man. Yep. Later.